Hey, St. Peter. So we want to give you a financial update. We talked about last night at the voters meeting how we had some good news, some bad news, and then some more good news. So we'll go about it like that. The first good news is that last fiscal year, 16-17, through some careful spending, some expense reductions, and some strong giving that came through, we were able to end the year with a surplus after depreciation of $11,000. So that's great news. We thank you for the part that you played in that. We also just recently, in the month of October, received another $225,000 from our foundation in grants to support the ministry of the church and the school, so we're grateful for that. We've also seen 4 grants come through from outside foundations. Just in the last couple months, we've started to kind of break through in this grant writing area. We've been working with a grant writer for the last couple of years, and now we're seeing some success there, so that's exciting possibility for the future as well. So when we talk about a strong home base, that remains our top priority here, making sure that our finances, our facilities, our staffing, and our ministries are really in a strong place as we look for where God has us next to reach more people and lead more people to a full life in Christ. So we've seen some progress in these areas over the last couple of years. Our annual expenses are down 3%. We feel like we've done that while maintaining a strong structure and a strong team of staff. Our church offerings are actually up 4% over the last 2 years, so great news there. Our school revenue is up 1.5%. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. And then our church attendance has been fairly steady over the last 2 years and actually up a tick 1%. So our home base is getting stronger, but we still have a few issues that we need to address. And that brings us a little bit to the bad news portion. So far through the first quarter, we're tracking about $40,000 behind budget. So what's the story behind that? A couple kind of main points. We've seen just on the school side, our health care expenses go up by about $90,000 the last 2 years. So that's due to just health care costs rising and more people entering onto our plan. Our school enrollment is steady. We're actually up 1 student from last year, but the breakdown of that is different. So we've gained 29 students in PDO, Parents Day Out, and we're minus 28 in the rest of the school. So the revenue side of that looks a little bit different with those 2 programs. So leading to our tuition projection, we're $180,000 less than last year for the full year of what we're projecting, and then $270,000 behind budget. So that's not where we want to be, but that's the reality of our school right now. As PDO has increased, we've actually seen our 5-day full-day preschool decrease by about 13 students. So our thinking is that's just a blip on the radar and that won't be an every year thing, and we're working towards improving that for next year. We've also seen 15 families move out of Illinois from our school just in the last 2 years. These are all families who love our school, have great things to say about it, but just for jobs or taxes or other reasons have moved out of the area. Our church giving, we believe is fairly steady. Some of it is due to timing and when major gifts come in. We've also seen a few key givers move out of the area or moving into retirement. So what can we do about it? And I believe that brings us back to the good news portion of it. We have a governing board and a lead staff, and I believe a church who's excited about the ministry happening here and are ready to try some new things, take some risks, and move towards improving in these areas of revenue and finances. So along with the board, we've identified 5 key areas that we're going to hone in on in the next 12 months and really try to see some improvement in our revenue. So those are community threads. That's our partnership with the thrift store, that through our donations and volunteer time, we get significant scholarship support from them. So we're going to hone in on that, come up with some creative ways to increase our involvement there. School marketing and enrollment specifically, we're getting some staffing aligned with seeing more of that happen and putting together a strategic plan for the next 5 years to take some specific actions to get the word out more. We still feel like St. Peter, our school, is one of the best kept secrets in the area. So we got to get that word out, spread that word however we can. We have a team that's looking into specific creative revenue ideas and things that we can do to bring in more annual revenue. We'll be rolling out a business plan to the governing board in the coming months on that. And then we're also looking at some creative ways of utilizing foundation funding to continue to support the school and the church on an ongoing basis. And then we're in the middle of a stewardship series right now, learning about more than enough. We're collecting pledges now through year end. And then we're also launching a year-end giving challenge called More Than Enough that'll help support our school and our benevolence fund. So you'll be hearing more about that as it comes. But we'll continue teaching on stewardship and generosity throughout the year and making that a part of our plan of discipleship. So that's the good news. We have some areas we need to work on, but our home base is getting stronger.